Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. Something a little bit different. Nothing particularly exciting. I'm just interested to see what I find amongst all my crap actually in the loft. I just decided before I went back to work I'll do a bit of early spring cleaning in the loft. Just because I've got that many of these little, as you can see here, just carrier bags with mostly with wires, PSUs. You know, I've got a few boxes. I've got an old power supply there, which I've been. In fact, I've got two of those actually. And just junk mostly, but I thought we'll just see what, if anything, is any good out of this lot. I'm half expecting to find the ZX81 in this box. It's probably been about 15 to 20 years since I've been in this box, I think. Might have just popped in it to stick something in there in the past. That's obviously hard disk, I think. So we've got hard disk there, that's a 20 gig IBM Desk Star. These all work to my knowledge, they did it back at the time. A couple of DIMMs there, so I'll put those to the side. SD RAM, DIMM 64 meg. It's a 16 meg, so there must be a 64 meg and a 16 meg in there, I think. And a 9 meg by the looks of things. There's three of those. An IDE cable, another hard disk. I think we're going to find a fair few hard disks. Oh, an ADSL router. Yeah, that can go in the bin. I think I might just strip it for parts. What's in here? One of my old H800 GTXs, yeah, that's a BGA problem with that. I've actually got three of those that need redoing at some point. Ah, there we go, ZX81. So, yeah, I'm pleased with that. That's in pretty good condition. Just needs a bit of a clean, I think. There's a bit of a mark there. Hopefully that'll come off. But, yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'll put that to the side. Yeah, so an old modem, that's probably going to go in the bin. An old network card, that's probably going to go in the bin. I might just take some of the components off some of these, maybe some of the crystals and connectors and things. What's that? Looks like an old sound card or something. Nothing exciting. No name brand, I think. Compatible. What have we got here? A couple of video cards. Let's just take these out, have a look, see if there's anything worth keeping. A Sparkle. My god, yeah, that's like a no name brand, Trident or something similar to that, I think. And it's going to be the same with this one, an STB. You can just about see that there, STB Systems. So, yeah, not worth anything really. The RAM might be useful, heatsink might be useful, and that's probably an EEPROM. So, yeah, there might be one or two useful parts on these, but am I ever going to use them? No. So, I don't know, might bin them, might scrap them, might sell them if anyone wants them. Yeah, that's long since it's past its sell by date, I'm sure. Oh, 16k RAM pack for the ZX81 there. Didn't realise I had that, so I'll put that to the side. That's good. I wonder if I've got a PSU. Oh, you have. I've got a PSU in here as well. You can see this here. PSU for the 16k there. So that's quite nice. I'll stick that to the side somewhere. Thing out. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. More ink cartridges, bin, I think. Yeah, bin. An old, absolutely decrepit Microsoft mouse. I don't even remember these. These were great. These were one of the first great mice actually available for the PC. It was really strange at the time, Microsoft going into the hardware side, you know, for the industry rather than just sticking to what they did best, really, the software. But these mice were really good. That's probably why I kept it, but it's, yeah, certainly seen better days. And they had a couple of different versions of those Microsoft mice. You can see, God, that's yellowed. It's totally yellowed, that. It's unbelievable. So yeah, these will probably go in the bin, I think. They're just, I think that was just, yeah, it's just a 9-pin serial. The other one's actually a PS2 type. A couple of old DAT tapes in here. Yeah, for backup, tape backup. I don't know if I've still got the drive somewhere. Maybe I have, I don't know. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those tapes. Put those somewhere out of the way. What else have we got? Yeah, and they're probably going to find a lot of this generic power supplies for routers and phones and things like that. So I will collect all those into a pile, see if anything's any use. Got another one here, look. What's that? 12 volt half an amp, 15 volt 800 milliamp. Yeah, well, you know, strange. You could use them for low power projects and things like that, but you need something a bit beefier for most consoles and things. The current that's delivering. God, it's always wire tangled. So another power supply there, put that out of the way, put that one out of the way. Yeah, sound card, that's a sound card, isn't it? Sound card cable, to go from sound card to a CD-ROM. So those are always useful. An old laptop keyboard here from a few years back, that can go in the bin actually. It's that laptop I'm no longer using anymore anyway, it's no point keeping it, it was a faulty keyboard. Some old burglar alarm tape here for Windows, which I'm going to use that. What's this? USB portable hard drive. Well, that's the box is actually. It's like a Mitsumi there, is it? Can't tell. I think it's a Mitsumi. It's got the scan. It's got one of the scan void warranty seals on it. Oh yeah, there's a Neutronics Co-Limited Mitsumi, made in the Philippines. So that's useful. 1.44 meg drive. ADSL wire. What the hell's that? That's one of those little housings, isn't it, off a audio cable, and then a load of floppies here. God, I can't believe I've got all these old discs. Some of these. Those are blank ones. Laplink, Norton, Windows 3.1. Check it. God, these are old. Those are eons. Another cartridge. Anyway, I'll probably skip the rest of this box. There's just a few odds and ends in there. Another SIM there. We'll take that out. That's going to be useful for something at some point. I'll have a look at some of the carrier bags. So I'll have a look at this carrier bag next. Some of these are going to be newer than others. You can see this is an old. That's an old ADSL modem I must have looked at some point in the past. I might take one or two of the connectors off there. Maybe that switching regulator there. I don't know. Am I ever going to use it? No, it's cheaper to just buy a new modem these days. But certainly the connectors and things. Maybe even this, I don't know if you can see this, it's unusual in the design here. It looks like you've got, I've seen this before, we have like a PCMCIA type connector and then a wireless card module, one of these ones you just get what you plug into the PCMCIA card on your laptop, and it's been adapted to plug into this. It's really weird how they've done that. I guess it saves them some money redesigning things over again when they've already got a PCMCIA, or PC card module that just slides in there. So maybe if I could be bothered, I could desolder the PCMCIA connector there. But look how fine pitched that is, and it's dip as well, which is surprising really for that kind of connector. It's probably not worth the effort, to be honest. There's a couple of fuses there that might be worth salvaging. Look like 1.25 amp marked Bell. Maybe one or two of these jokes or something might be worth taking those off as well. Anyway, moving on to what we got. So yeah, the remainder of that plastic parts, and you're in the bin. We've got another one here. Look, what's this? And it's a similar thing. You see this going on here? Another PCMCIA socket edge with a card plugged in. Might be worth taking these card boards out actually, just with the connector on the other side as well. Maybe I could use one of those to make up an adapter for the Neo Geo or something. My AES. Might be able to reuse that MX29LV 801, I think it is, or something. I can't read it from here very well. It's the same with one or two of the RAMs on these. Maybe it'd be worth my time taking one of those off. Another fuse there, look. Sorry, you can just about see that with my thumb is. Yeah, but that's all I'm going to do with these, I think. A lot of these will just scrap what I don't keep. Plastic parts of that. It's one of those TV senders by the looks of things, that don't work very well. It's supposed to transmit on the 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth, which probably wasn't a bad thing when they first came out, but there's that many things using that bandwidth now for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and stuff. You just get interference with everything on these, because they're not very well designed to filter out that interference. Back when they first came out and hit the market, there wasn't very much using it. And they were pretty crap anyway, even when I used them back then. So we've got, I don't know, some power, these 12 volt adapters here for your car, plug into your cigarette charger socket. Got one or two of those. Some of these little 12 volts neons for cars. I'll probably keep those. They're quite nice actually. They give them a nice glow. I think those were in one of my cars in the past, many years ago. So we'll keep that. I might test those out on the power supply to see if it's still working. Wireless card here, seen better days. The bottom end's missing off it. I think this is one. I remember this one. It bent. It got knocked. The laptop fell off, and you can see there's a little bend there and there's a micro crack in the PCB, so it always meant the signal was never very good on this, even after I'd resoldered it, because it just kept breaking. So yeah, it might be a similar thing. I might keep this just in the interest of trying to reuse the board for something, I don't know. More power supplies, more cables. I'll move on to the next bag now, I think. So I just found an old Celeron CPU. You can just about see it in there with the heatsink. It's one of the slots, you know, it's a slot CPU, you just slide them in. PS2 extension cable, or a PS1 extension cable it probably was back at the time. That's interesting. This bag I'm on at the moment is more PC stuff, so we've got another Hewlett-Packard 1.44 meg floppy drive, so perhaps keep that. CD-ROM drive, what's this, a TX CD524E, 3.5 inch drive there, Neutronics Mitsumi again, so I've got quite a few 3.5 inch drives going here. Lots of ribbon cables. It's a shame I'm never going to be able to use these really. I've already got an old retro PC that I use for older gaming and stuff, an old Logic 3 controller. It's a PC one, that's USB. I'm probably going to bin it, to be honest. It's probably only worth a few quid. An old fan which has seen better days, I think that can go in the bin. I'll probably just snip the connectors off to use that pass through there. You can just about see. Look at all the power supplies I've found so far, just at the 2 or 3 bags that I've gone through. I've got an unbelievable amount of them, but they're all pretty low wattage, you know, low power. You're not going to be able to use them for very much really, so that's the problem. So I do think a lot of this stuff is just worth, you know, putting in the bin really. I can't see any benefit in keeping all this junk in the bloody loft, that's for sure. Having said that, it's famous last words. I was kicking myself, I was thinking last night, I used to have an AWE32 and various other things. I had like one of those SiQuest removable drives, you know, the Media things, I forget what they were, it's like a magnetic optical. And I just gave it away, and I gave away the WE32 as well. So I got another drive here, an Asus 52 speed. It's just going to be a reader, that I think, by the looks of things. Oh, it's a CRW, it might be a writer as well, so I might keep that. That might be useful. What else we got? Piles of discs in here. What are all these discs and this cable? What the hell's that cable? Yeah, so a massive, looks like RJ45 shielded cable there. I'm never going to use it. I don't know, it seems sacrilege to bin it, but I ain't got space for all this stuff, that's for sure. What else have we got? Another mouse. It's like Phantom Menace mouse or something, that is it? Yeah, that might be worth keeping. PS2. It's a ball though, it's not optical or anything. Yeah, I'll put that one to the side. And all just lots of these little adapters, and you know, similar to before, the CD card to CD-ROM, you know, adapters there, power splitters, more power splitters. I think that's from the graphic card actually. Sorry, you can about see that. It's looks like a multiple pin, you know, round connector there, going to red, green, blue. So that must be for some video input or something on some graphics card somewhere. More splitters. Got another one there for another video input or something. Useful for the connectors, I guess. Mains, leads, modem wires, more modem wires. What else have we got? Car charger for something. That's for a Voodoo. I know what that is straight away. That's for one of the Voodoo graphics cards. I think it's one of the ways you join the two boards up or something, I think, if memory serves. An old RF lead, modem, floppy IDC cable, yeah, another floppy drive with a yellowed front, 1.44 Panasonic, just about to see that there. Another floppy drive, an Alps, I've forgotten Alps made these actually. Yeah, so that'll be another 1.44. Box full of discs here. What are these? Oh, unused. What are these? Yeah, no labels on them or anything, they must be brand new. Complete box of unused floppy disks there, all ready labelled up. Well, there's top ones with the labels removed actually. So I might give those a go on the Amiga. The high density, a bit wasted really on the Amiga. But yeah, we'll put those to the side somewhere. I'll look at those later. An old connector being chopped off something. Let's move on to another bag. So this one we've got a power supply. might use this at some point in the past actually to get my MVS up and running. When I first got the thing there, and he's trying to use the super gun adapter. So yeah, it's pretty old, 500 watt ATX. It's got a noisy fan on it, not sure. I might just keep that as a spare for something. You can always adapt those power supplies for other things. Ah, now this is interesting, forgot about this. This was a purchase from about 15 years ago, roughly. It's not got scratches, it's got dirt on it. One of these little Lilliput composite, will accept composite. It may well accept RGB as well, but that's a nice little screen. Might try and find some use for that. Yeah, I'll put that to the side and I'll have a play with that later. So one of these BT call view boxes here, so you can preview who's calling you. Absolutely useless in this day and age. That can just get scrapped for parts, I think. Little phone in here, ADSL wires, Dell power supply. Yeah, I don't think this one works actually. It's probably got a fault with this. So yeah, there's the remote for that TV. I'm guessing this is the power. Yeah, I've adapted this power supply in the past. It was one of these ones that had the prongs coming out the back, and I adapted it, but Mainsley made sure it had a suitable fuse in it, just to make that safer. And these are the cables for that as well, so I'll put those aside and have a play around with that later. There's the button cell and battery flap that goes out the remote, so I must have taken that out in advance. That was quite a good idea actually. An old VCR remote here. I've got this VCR. This is something I've still got in the loft. One of these old Hitachi. It's got the shuttle control on the bottom there. It does work well actually. Aside from an LED replacing on the main unit itself, and obviously the SCART lead here. So I'll keep those. Those are going to go back in the loft. But all the other stuff, including this old BT handset here, yeah, bin. I think old ADSL splitter. Yeah, I might just keep that. That's probably alright, I think. So, looks like we've got another bag of some PC stuff, some wire there. I'll just have a look at that in a minute. What else we've got? Hard drives again. Good grief. Yeah, so we've got the Seagate. You can just about see that there. Let's see what size that is. Can't see a size in it. ST3320620A. No idea, it's not marked. Another one there, Western Digital. Some of these are probably my old hard drives, some of them are probably from friends and family, I think. Nice aluminium heatsink block there, that's quite large. VGA extension cable. Yeah, you can never be short of a VGA extension cable, that's useful to have. I'll keep that. Lots of drive coverings, bezels, that one's a bit scratched up. Yeah, it might be worth keeping one or two of these, but not all of them. Right, yeah, an IDE kit. Some old routers in here. You can see this, that's going to be an old 10 meg. I think. Yeah, it is, BT stack. I think that was from somewhere I was working where they were throwing some stuff out, and it was an old 10 meg hub they were lobbing out. I'm pretty sure it's 10 meg, so yeah, by today's standards, that's just useless completely. That was a cheap multi-purpose hub, I think. This does work. It's 10100, but it's not gigabit, so yeah, there's not a lot of point keeping that either, really. Another CD-ROM drive, a DVD drive. That's a short one, that. I don't think you can see that. Look how short that is. It's compare it to one of the others. Let's see if I can find the other one. Put it next to this Asus one. You see that? See the length difference? It's about 3/4 to half an inch shorter, which is strange. It's a TSH493. Is that Toshiba or something? Yeah, Toshiba Samsung. So yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what that was in. An old graphics card here. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see if we can have a quick look. Looks like an Asus. Yeah, it looks like PCI. I can't really tell what kind of Asus card that is, if I'm completely honest. You might say in there. Yeah, it doesn't look like a very high spec card anyway, so I don't know, I might Might keep that, might bin it, I'm not sure. I mean, there's lots of stuff in here I do want to bin because there's just no point keeping it. Some of these things are useful, these little RJ45 extenders, you know, just for connecting hubs and things together. So there are lots of useful stuff in all this lot. Anyway, I'll work my way through this. I'm not going to show you it all. If I find any more exciting things, I'll show you the odd thing as I find it. So I finished going through most of it. I found another box of hard drives here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more hard drives there. So, and I've got a load of anti-static bags. I'm going to package some of these up in anti-static bags and keep all these drives. I think that pile of drives, those are all hard drives, and then 3.5-inch floppy drives. I'll keep those. I'll keep the Asus graphics card. I think that's like an NVIDIA 8500. So yeah, it's a few years out of date, but it's useful. So I'll keep that. But a lot of the wires are going to go, and I think I'm going to get rid of all those PSUs, most of them. Anything that's not sort of at least an amp or more, I'm probably just going to get rid of. There's just no point keeping it at all. I might just chop the wire off. I can always use the wire. But it's ironic, isn't it? You keep a lot of this stuff, like I've done over the last 20 odd years in the loft. With each new thing you get, or you know, you swap out your new things for, swap out new things and get rid of your old things, put them in the loft and stuff, stick all the wires in the loft. And you just end up with tons and tons and tons of shit. My loft's like a hoarding situation, whereas my collection of systems is actually quite well managed, and everything's got its own box and stored in a relevant place and nice and tidy and out of the way. But I can't say that about all this lot. This was, like I say, accumulation of about 10 carrier bags and 2 boxes in the loft, and it's pretty much 90% junk. Anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.